Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Decades Challenge. We're going to start day 1 of 1302 with a fussy Manfred waking up his mother, Philippa. She's going to feed him and then maybe give him a bath because he absolutely needs one. So I decided to get this smaller tub for him and I place it down in the house. It just makes much more sense for him to use this rather than the bigger one that's in the backyard. We're going to go ahead and wake up Phineas as well and get him started on his day. We're going to have him go in the workshop and maybe work on some woodwork. See, this is so much better now. You can actually see the animation now, which you couldn't before because he looked like he was drowning in the big tub last episode. Okay, I also decided to place down a toy for Manfred to play with because he needs something to do when his parents are out working and his needs are okay. Philippa swept around for a little bit before making the first meal of the day, which was some yummy gruel. They'll probably be eating that for quite a while. We haven't harvested anything from the garden yet. Apparently, Phineas likes the woodworking table. That's good news. So you can see, here's our garden. It looked poor before, but now it looks so much better. We still got a long way to go. Once we get some more stuff, I'm thinking I'm gonna rearrange it. Maybe put the trees in a bush, like separate the trees from the bushes from the smaller like plants like mushrooms. And yeah, so they sat down. Well, Philippa sat down and ate, and you can see Manfred fussy. I think he was soothing himself to sleep. That's what he's doing. And then I had Phineas stop what he was doing in a workshop and sit down with his wife to have a meal. After they were done eating, I had them go back into the workshop and work on some stuff. I had Philippa work on some candles so we can start placing those down in the house. And Phineas, of course, was working on the woodworking table so he can have some woodwork that we can sell later on in the week at the market. While they were in there, we had an unexpected visitor. So this is Shersha Arkwright, I hope I'm saying that right. And she's a peasant that lives in a village, and she basically came here begging Philippa and Phineas for any materials that they may be able to spare. And I clicked on her and I saw that her and Philippa had great chemistry, so I'm thinking that maybe Philippa was very sympathetic to her, even though her and Phineas are struggling themselves. She invited her to their house and offered to give her something after she took care of her baby. And look, she was so sweet. She started cleaning our little stove there, our grill. She probably was just trying to sweeten the deal and make Philippa even more sympathetic towards her. And for whatever reason, right here, I had a bit of trouble finding the gift giving option in the pie menu, and I had to click on her and make her controllable. And I was trying to give her some milk, but for some reason you can't give milk. Maybe I think the milk was probably expired, but we eventually gave her some cherries and sent her on her way. I know Philippa wishes that she could have probably given her something more, but unfortunately that was all that we could give her today. She did show up unexpectedly, but Philippa has a very kind heart, so maybe tomorrow she'll make some stuff, maybe it's some cheese, a cheese wheel, and probably make a visit to the Arkwright household. So that could be something that we could do tomorrow. And look, she made her way back here so she can play in the lake that's outside. These poor medieval Sims are deprived of so much fun, and I almost feel bad for them. I mean, look at Phineas. He's playing in the mud now. I'm going to have to give them some hobbies that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with their survival. I know that Phineas has a gift for music, and I did say last part that I was gonna put down a lute or some type of instrument for him so that he can play. And maybe like eventually when I do get him a lute, we can have him join like when there's a festival in town. He'll be able to like play at it. That's something we could probably do. So I sent Phineas out to go get some wood because we were running out of it and he needs that to make his wood work. And I had Philippa go ahead and sell the stuff that we had in the garden, which wasn't much, but it did give us quite a few simoleons, so that's great. We could really use the money around here, that's for sure. So she does this, and soon after Phineas returns home, and I'll have him go take a bath because he was extremely dirty, as you can see. I think he actually likes going into the forest and chopping down wood because he loves the outdoors. That is one of his traits. So that put him in a great mood when he returned. And I went ahead and placed down those candles that Philippa made earlier so that we can have some light in the house, and it looks really good. I really like how the candles look in the house. Oh, and look at Manfred sleeping on the floor right there. So it was getting pretty late. It was bedtime, so I had them eat some dinner and get ready for bed. And that was pretty much the day one of 1302. We worked on the farm, worked on some woodwork, made some candles, and took care of the cows, and sell some stuff on from the garden. That was pretty much it. That's all we did. Oh, and we had an unexpected visitor that could probably be a recurring character in these episodes from now on. And next day, Manfred had woke Philippa pretty early, so she got him up and I think changed his diaper. Yeah, she changed his diaper. And since she was already up, I had her make a cheese wheel for the Arkwrights. Philippa wants to go to their house today and give them supplies and some food because she really feels bad for them. Even though they are peasants themselves, she's willing to give whatever she can help others. That's Philippa in a nutshell. She has a very kind heart. But before we do that, I have her go into the workshop and work on some soap today. Because we don't actually sell our candles. Candles making is for us, for our use. So I have her make soaps so she can give that to Phineas and we can sell those at the market. Not today, maybe tomorrow. So she works on that, and Phineas is, of course, again, working on his woodworking table. Soon after that, though, I have him go into the garden and sell everything while Philippa works in the kitchen and makes some breakfast for them to eat. And maybe check up on Manfred as well, because he's been awake for a while now. Oh, see, look, he just used his diaper, and Philippa will probably change that soon. But Philippa is in here. She wants to talk to her husband about going to the Arkwright residence later and giving them some supplies. And I don't think Phineas is too happy about it. I think he thinks his wife is too pregnant to be walking to somebody's home to give them anything. So you can see they're talking about Saoirse now, and Phineas kind of loses his cool and tries to talk some sense into her and tell her that no, you shouldn't be the one to go down there. And then they eventually come to a compromise, and Phineas says, how about I go to the Arkwright household and I give them the food and supplies, and then eventually Philippa caves into that idea. Just as long as she's able to help them, she doesn't mind if she's not able to go. So once that's settled, she takes care of the crying Manfred, who's confused on why his parents are arguing and yelling at each other. That probably really scared him, but Philippa went ahead and gave him a feeding before probably putting him down for a nap. Oh no, she didn't put him down for a nap. She finished eating her food. That's what she did. And Philip, before working on the farm, with the cows, he took a bath, and I had him go clean up that area because there's a lot of poop around and the trash is being filled up, and like this is a very neglected part of the farm. Philippa took a quick nap before I had her finish making some stuff that she can give to Phineas to give to the Arkwrights, and she makes some hot milk. Like, she really is going all out for Saoirse and her husband, because we don't even make hot milk for ourselves. I wonder what Phineas thinks about that. I wonder what he feels about her making a meal that they don't make for themselves. Okay, so we are now here at the Arkwright household, and fun fact, this was actually gonna be the household for Phineas and Philippa. I actually built it, but then I decided on the current farm that we have now. So he gifted her a cheese wheel, and he also gifted her the hot milk, and she loved it. She was so grateful and thankful towards him and Philippa. And Phineas and her hugged it out. So that was a great interaction. I love that they were able to help out fellow peasants. And when we returned home, Philippa had already made some gruel, so a warm meal was awaiting him, and he used the restroom before going in there to have some dinner with his wife. And while at the dinner table, they talked about the interaction and what happened. They talked about Saoirse, and he told his wife that, I'm sorry about earlier and yelling at you. I really love the fact that you have a kind heart and you're so caring for other people. And they really had a moment there and kissed it out, and that was such a cute interaction. I had to take a picture of that with a couple of screenshots. Don't mind me. But it was getting kind of late, so I had them go to bed, and for some reason Philippa didn't put Manfred in his crib, so he kind of just went to sleep beside them. But Philippa woke up pretty early the next day. Like, she didn't even sleep that long, I guess because she's heavily pregnant now, so she had to go to the restroom. And we're gonna have a baby any time now. I think she's in her 3rd trimester at this point. She doesn't seem like she needs to go back to sleep, so apparently her day is gonna start pretty early. I'm gonna have her clean up the house, and look, the toilet broke again, so she'll probably be the one to fix that. And look, he's so cute. I love that the infants can sleep anywhere though. That's a really nice feature for them. So she's cleaning up, and of course he's still asleep in the bed. She fixes the toilet, and then she eventually makes some gruel, and then that's when Phineas wakes up after she gets done making food. So they're having a nice little family moment right here, right now, but it doesn't seem like Manfred is having a great time though. I think he peed on himself. I'm not sure why there's a puddle right there. So they're eating here together, and Manfred's just crying. So eventually Phineas just gets him up and gives him a bath, and I think that makes him feel better. And while that's going on, I'm gonna have Philippa just go ahead and clean up around the house and clean up that puddle that showed up from out of nowhere. And they look so adorable over there in the tub. It just seems like Phineas never really interacts with his son, but whenever he does, it's always a cute little moment. And I like to imagine that maybe he just wants to give his wife a break every now and then. Because honestly, Felipe does a lot more around the house and on the farm than he probably does. And that's saying something. So he cleans up his mess. Oh no, he doesn't clean it up. I guess he's eating the rest of his food. I guess he put that down to take care of whoa, I forgot the baby's name. Manfred. When Phineas gets done with that, I had him go back into the workshop and then maybe start taking care of some of those cows because they look miserable. And I had Felipe make some more candles to replace the ones inside the house while Manfred was in the house taking a nap. And I had to have Felipe use the bushes later because Phineas was inside the house using the chamber pot. And eventually Manfred wakes up from his nap and has his diaper changed. More mess for his mom to clean up. And Phineas is back in the workshop working on some woodwork. That is what he does. That is what he is known for doing. And we had a wild chicken in our garden. I don't even know where it came from. I didn't even know wild chickens were a thing. But I had him go in the garden and sell all the stuff because we haven't done that for today. I just realized I didn't really completely do that terrain back there. I might need to go back and do that later. The chicken was hungry as well, but we didn't feed it. Later on in the day, we actually went to the market so we could sell some things. And that first person you can see is actually Saoirse Arkwright's husband. And also today was a really good day at the market. We had a lot of customers and was able to sell quite a bit of our things. So I'm pretty sure Phineas was really happy about that. When he got back, Felipe had just awoken from a nap. I really think this second pregnancy is taking a lot more out of her than the first pregnancy did. But I had her just go ahead and clean up a little bit and then get started on dinner. After I placed down some more candles because the old ones went out. And she got finished with the dinner and they sat down to eat that. This of course squirrel because we don't have anything else to make. We haven't harvested anything from our garden, and I don't even think I do it for this season. But you can see that, yeah, like I said, this pregnancy is really taking a lot out of Felipe. She was on the floor. She had just decided to just lay down on the floor for whatever reason. But she took care of Manfred, put him down for the night before she herself went to bed. Look at her needs. She was going through it. And what? For some reason, the king of the kingdom keeps coming back to our little farm, and I don't know why. He really wants to be a part of the episodes, and I'm gonna have him eventually a part of them, but he needs to chill out. So Felipe slept around a bit before going to bed, and as well as using the restroom. But soon after she went to bed, she went into labor. So I had to put down a crib because we were having a baby. So I put that down right next to the fire, closer to the fire than Manfred was, and she went into labor. But this time, Phineas was actually up for it because he was asleep last time, but she woke him up, made sure to wake him up this time. He was gonna see her go into labor. And it's a girl. We have our first baby girl, and I'm gonna just randomly randomize in the number 2 through 124, and that will be her name. And it is Nicola Halliwell. That's such a pretty name. I actually like that. So we have our first baby girl of the challenge. I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of want wanted the baby to be a boy because I want to keep our last name for at least 5 generations, I'm hoping. But I'm still excited that we can possibly now see what a baby girl between these two will look like. No, oh my god, Phineas is still over there freaking out. Like, chill out, dude. The baby is here already. It is okay. Well, it's not okay because we have to do some death rolls. Okay, so mom is up first and she rolls a 5, so she's safe. Baby rolls a 17, so they're both safe, and baby lives to see another day. So we're just gonna insert her or add her to this to the spreadsheet, Nicola Halliwell, and yeah, and be happy because our baby survived her first death rolls. Probably won't be able to celebrate long though because she does have to go through another set of death rolls tomorrow. The baby, because babies only stay babies for a day, and she actually came like really late at night on Wednesday, so she's gonna age up on Thursday along with her brother who turns into a toddler today, and we're gonna age them up at 8 o'clock because that's the universal time that I age up my children. So today they woke up, yeah, you can see it's All Fool's Day and their birthdays. I don't think we'll be celebrating All Fool's Day. I know I said I wanted to do that last part and I did have plans, but then I figured that, you know, they have very young kids at this point and now a very fresh newborn, and I just don't think Felipe would be willing to leave her kids or willing to like be left home alone with both an infant in a newborn, even though that probably would have been likely back then. But this is the sense, and I did not want that to happen. So she just fixes them up real quick, and it's now time for them both to age up. We're gonna look at Manfred. We're gonna age up Manfred, hopefully, and let's see. He rolls a 20, so he's saved. That's not a deadly roll for a toddler, so he's able to age up into a toddler. So we're gonna age him up, let him get up, and eventually age up. And look, he's a toddler. He got the top-notch infant trait. I don't know what the qualifications for that is, but he got it, so great. And he's an angelic toddler, so he's just a sweet child. He just seems like he's gonna be so helpful around the home. And now we're gonna roll for baby Nicola, and she rolls a 12. And unfortunately, that is a bad roll for an infant, so she had to die, and that was just so heartbreaking to see. But we just went ahead and we went into cast so we can help Manfred up, and as you can see, the spreadsheet is up because I do roll for genetics, and I'll get more into that on a different video. But you can see that's what he looks like now, and it's just poor Felipa. She's so like it happened so suddenly. Like the baby was just here, and now they're not. I put into the spreadsheet that the baby died of sudden death. Like nobody really knows what happened. She just didn't wake up in the morning. So Felipa went to bed. She was pretty sad. She took a nap, but Phineas seemed better about it than she did and just went into the workshop to just continue to work. I mean, he knows that kids are sickly in these days and that they are more likely to die, but that was Felipa's baby, and she just, I don't know, she's not taking it well. Phineas is now taking care of the cows. We're getting better at taking care of these cows. And he looks after Manfred, but Manfred like did not want his dad. He wanted his mom's. He kept on waking her up even though his dad was right there, and I thought that was just hilarious. And eventually Felipa just gets back up and decides to put him back to bed. herself because he did not care for his dad at all. See, I think Felipe is gonna be like the better parent of the two, or the more like parent of the two, not because Vinny is a bad dad or anything. It's just because they just would absolutely love their mom. And what is going on with you? But Phineas knows his wife is going through a hard time right now, so he decides to do her chores, and he does the laundry for her, which I thought was very sweet of him. And Felipe decides to go back to bed because, again, she's having a really hard time. But yeah, Phineas does the laundry for her and hangs it up on the clothing line like that. Yeah, and then replaces the water. And then I think at this point I just have them go to bed early. Today's All Fool's Day was just not a good day. They lost a baby. They lost a Halliwell. This was our first Halliwell loss, and that was sad. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the part right here. They're going to bed. This is the last day of 1302, and oh my god, how did the cow get inside the house? Okay, so we're just gonna end it here, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I hope you guys like where I'm taking the story. And if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to add it to the comment section. But thank you guys again, and goodbye. See you next time.